This class is all about headstand. Headstand is a super fun pose. For me personally, when I got it and it clicked, it kind of opened up a whole array of other poses that I felt more comfortable to try. It kind of gave me the confidence to try more advanced postures and inversions. So something to remember is that it might not happen for you today or even next week. This class is more just an introduction on how to get into headstand. Like with any posture, it's so important to focus on the foundational strength so that your body feels comfortable and it's safe for you to lift up into headstand. So the parts of your body that you should be focusing on for headstand is going to be your core strength, as with maybe all yoga positions. Core strength is super important. Also hamstrings. The more flexible and strong your hamstrings are, the more closer to your head you'll be able to walk with your feet, so that your hips will be able to lift up above your head, and then you'll be able to easily lift up your legs. So core, hamstrings, also hips are important too, as well as shoulder strength and stability. So if you haven't already, maybe take a pause, do some warm-ups so that you feel ready to get into headstand. If you've never tried it before, it can be helpful to try up against a wall, so that way you feel like you're not going to flip over and break your neck, which you won't. I know you won't. But that was definitely a fear that I had in the beginning. So maybe try up against a wall if you wanted to put some pillows behind your head, just as like a mental security, you're not going to get hurt. But like I said, it's all about strength. And then it's just practice. Your body most likely isn't used to being upside down. So it's going to be really kind of weird maybe at first and scary. That's normal. The thing about these types of postures is that they're meant to slowly be built up to. No one expects you to go up on your first try, unless you're like 5 and you can do that. So we'll start by figuring out where the head goes on the floor. So the tendency can maybe be to bring all the pressure onto your forehead. So what we want to do is put all the pressure, or have the point of contact between the head and the floor, the very, very crown of the head. So bring your hand out, locate your thumb, bring your thumb to your nose. And then with your middle finger, reach your fingers up as high as they'll go while keeping your thumb onto your nose. And then bring the middle finger to the top of your head. And then at that spot, that's the crown of your head, that's the spot that should be touching the floor in headstand. We're going to do the variation today with our forearms next to our heads. There's also a tripod headstand, which depending on how you feel, it might be easier or harder. Personally, I do not like tripod headstand, so we're going to be doing the other variation. So I would recommend watching me first and then pausing the video, or maybe going back and trying it as I walk us through. So first we're going to measure where the elbows should go. So grab opposite elbows and bring your elbows to the floor. And then keep your elbow points onto the floor. Keep them where they are, and then bring your forearms to make a triangle position, so your hands are together. And then we'll interlace the fingers, but tuck the bottom pinky underneath, so that if you do end up falling or, something were to happen, you don't have any broken pinkies. So measure your arm distance, bring the hands together, interlace, and tuck the pinky underneath. And then we'll come up onto the knees and walk the knees back, tuck the toes under, And then remember that spot on the top of your head, the crown of your head. Bring that in the middle of your arm triangle. So your forearms should be hugging in to the sides of your head. The tendency can be to kind of flail out your arms, but energetically hugging your forearms in and hugging your arms into your head, that creates like an awareness and a strength so that you have a really strong foundation to be able to lift up. So, measure arms, elbows to the floor, forearms to the floor, interlace, pinky underneath. Walk the knees back, tuck your toes under, and bring the top of your head into the middle of your triangle. You want to keep the palms of your hands hugging in together. And then when you're ready, you'll lift your knees up and then begin to walk your feet towards your face. So maybe this is already a lot for you. So this is just the first step, just to get comfortable with having your hips up over your head. So this is stage 1. Stay here for a few breaths, breathing smooth, deep breaths in and out of your nose. Remember to hug your belly button in so that your core is really nice and engaged. And then remember to energetically hug your forearms in towards one another so that your arms are kind of framing the sides of your head. And then when you're ready, lift your right leg up to the sky and hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lower your right foot down. Step into your right foot to lift your left leg up and back behind you. Hold here for 5, 4, 3, remember to breathe, 2. Slowly lower your left foot down. Lower your knees to the floor. Bring your hips to your heels and come into child's pose. So it's important to come into child's pose right away because the blood will have all rushed to your head. And if you get up immediately, that could create pain, headaches. And then when you're ready to come up, bring your hands to the floor next to your knees, and then leading with your head, rise yourself all the way back up. How was that? So try that a few times. Like I said, this is something to be worked and worked and worked. So maybe incorporate it into your practice on a daily basis. So when you're ready, eventually, to lift your legs up, I'm going to walk us through to kind of show you how to go about that. So measuring your elbows, bring your elbows to the floor, forearms to the floor, interlace your fingers, tuck your pinky under, bring the crown of your head to the middle of your triangle, hug your elbows in, press down into your forearms, lift your knees up, and then you walk your feet in close to your face. This time, we're going to lift one leg up. It doesn't matter whichever one is most comfortable to lift up. That will be your leg that you lead with. Flex the lifted foot really nice and strong. And then rise up high onto your tippy toes that are on the floor. And then slowly you'll begin to shift the weight so that you can maybe lift your foot up. Flexing both feet really nice and strong. You're going to slowly connect your feet so that they come to touch all the way up, reaching up to the sky. Flexing both of your feet, hug your toe knuckles into each other. Legs nice and activated. And then when you're ready, you can split your legs, slowly lower one foot to the floor, lower the other foot, lower your knees, come into child's pose. So, so work on that a few times. Incorporate it into your daily practice. When you're ready, you can slowly lift your legs up and be able to balance in headstand. What's really important is that you don't kick your legs up. In this way, you're not using the strength that you have to lift up. It's more using momentum, and that can cause you to fall. So like I said, if you're not there yet today, that's totally fine. Work your way up, and slowly you'll find that the pose becomes more accessible. So thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.